Hi everyone, welcome to your Applied Sociology course. I am your instructor, Professor Latini. You will see my name listed as Naomi Latini Wolf. I have two last names, they're not hyphenated, it's confusing. So I will answer to Latini or Wolf or both put together, but I usually just sign things Professor L or Professor Latini for convenience. This video is going to be broken into a few little small sections to give you an overview of what to expect in the course. Like many people, I am working from home right now, and so this wall you see behind me is, I live in a loft. This is the inside of my house. There's smoke billowing by occasionally, that's incense, and you may hear or see one of my cats or children. So, you know, working from home. I have been teaching for about 13 years, and I've been with Troy since 2014. I am super excited about this class, and most of what you're gonna see and hear from me is gonna be just like this, talking to you as if I was standing in front of you. So my hope is that in doing that, it's an online class, but you're able to also get the sort of personal, it's not exactly interaction, but sort of like interaction in hearing and seeing me to understand better my tone and whatnot. So again, I'm going to break this up into little sections so that you guys can kind of get an overview of the entire course. Okay, enough about me. Let's get into the course. Let's start with what is the course about, and then I will move into the actual course modules. This is an applied sociology course, and applied sociology means, you know, taking sociology, taking the terms, concepts, and ideas and applying it to our real lives. And so that's what we're going to be doing here with a focus on social change. In sociology, you guys have all taken an intro to sociology course already, so you already grasp kind of what it is we're doing. We are studying and learning about people on a macro level and how they behave and interact within those systems. And so we're going to take those things and apply them to how we can make the world a better place. And that's what your textbook is. Your textbook is this one. You can get it from Troy Online. It's cheap. It's a pretty easy read. And the author does an excellent job of teaching us to be sociologically mindful and how we can do actionable things in a sociologically mindful way. So to begin with, the author starts talking about things like sociological listening, for example, sociological advocating, how to empathize in a sociological way. So each course module is going to be set up based on one of those chapters or two of those chapters in the textbook, and then accompanied by supplemental readings. My video lectures to you at the beginning of every module will be tying all those readings together and helping you to make sense of them, which will lead us ultimately to your assignments for the week. So let's get into sort of quickly get out of the way, if you will, that we are going to talk about things as it relates to social change that can be controversial. When we say social change, I often use the word in the course, social justice. If you think of something you want to change in the world, right, in the bigger picture, it's usually because there is an imbalance or an inequality in some way. When we start talking about inequalities, it starts to get a little touchy for people because most of us are affected by some of those inequalities in some form or fashion, and people can be very sensitive to those. And you are not wrong for feeling that way. So this course, though, any sociology course, but specifically this one, is going to be a safe space for us to have academically minded and sociologically mindful conversations about those more difficult subjects. So you have at the very beginning it's called a quiz, but it's really like for you to click true or false. Yes, I understand that we may be talking about things that are have the potential to be touchy subjects, that you understand that and that you are going to remain respectful. And I'm going to do the same. That doesn't mean we're not going to talk about hard things. We are, but we can do that. People can do that without fighting, without being, rude or disrespectful. And so this will come up over and over again. I'll mention it probably in every lecture. So that's kind of what the course is about. How we can use sociology to make the world a better place and apply what we've learned to our real world. So next we're going to get into what the actual course modules look like. Okay, so within each course module, it's all going to be set up, each one's going to be set up the same. You are going to have a lecture chat type thing like this with me. That's going to be tying everything together. I think I mentioned that previously. I can see if you watch those or not. I'm not going to deduct points for not, but I think you might have difficulty pulling everything together if you don't. Because we're talking about more things that require a little bit more critical thinking, I think it will help you to hear me, talking about them. So you'll have a short lecture, talk, whatever, from me in the beginning. And I keep looking down because I've got it written down so I don't forget exactly the way that it's set up. Then you are going to have your readings. Your readings are going to consist of the textbook and then required readings or resources. This will be between 1 and 3 other videos or readings. Sometimes they're academic articles, sometimes they're advocacy websites if we're learning about a specific topic. It's going to vary, but I don't want you to see like, oh, we have to read a chapter in the textbook and we have to read this other thing. These chapters in this textbook are so small. Like you could sit down and read one chapter. I mean, if you are a fast reader in 10 minutes, so that is the foundation of what we're learning for each week, that chapter or those chapters if we're covering more than one, which we do sometimes. Then you will have your supplemental required readings or resources. After those, you will have optional readings or resources. Those are not going to be required for your assignments, but they will certainly enhance what you have already learned in the course. And then sometimes I will add in a resource that is just fun or interesting, but that I've felt strongly enough about to add, to a resource to give to you. So the required readings are what you have to read every week, or sometimes they're videos. And then the optional readings or resources are those that will enhance your learning. There are also extra sources that you can use in your discussion. So I would recommend them, but they're not necessarily required. So you'll have your readings, and then you're going to have every week a discussion. I'm going to make a separate video for discussion forum guidelines, but there's also a portion in your module that covers exactly what you're supposed to do for those. But they are intended to get you to think critically, and they're also they're specific in terms of like the guidelines to follow, but they're loose in the sense that you will be able to, within certain guidelines, write about whatever issue is of importance to you. So in theory, they should not be boring to you because you will be researching and reading about, watching videos about things or social issues, social justice issues that you care about. So again, I'll make a separate video about that. You'll have those every week though. Then you will also have every week as an assignment, either a short writing assignment or a quiz. Both of those are intended to get a little bit more specific with the knowledge base, whereas the discussions are, as I mentioned, loose in terms of like you're literally taking what you've read and applying it to something. The writing assignments and or quizzes are, we're going to be taking very specific sociological ideas or concepts and going more over the more minute facts or topics within those. So within each week, you have a space for critical thinking, and then we have a space to sort of double check that we understand all of those concepts. So we've gone over a wee bit about myself. We've gone over what the course kind of is overall, and we've gone over what the learning modules are going to look like. I want to add, and I'll put this in announcements and stuff all the time, but I am available to chat with you. Like, we could do FaceTime, we could do, there's a collaborative option within our course module. I could Zoom you, Microsoft Team you, Skype you, whatever. Like, if you want to see me, to talk to me, you absolutely can. We just need to set up an appointment. I try to make myself as available to you as I can. I think it is imperative for your success in an online course. By success, I don't just mean passing, I mean really grasping and learning the knowledge in the course, to have your teacher accessible. And so I make every effort to do that. So if you do not feel like you got everything that you need to know about this course in this video, you didn't. This is just meant to be broad overview introduction, to get a sense. And any questions you have will probably be answered within the individual modules or within the course announcements or messages, whatever. But if something pops out to you that you really want to know and are concerned about, have a question about, just let me know. I am here to help you. Okay, I'll see you guys online.